my glasses. Here we go, Facebook. This is it. We got, where'd Richard, he bends over at the wrong time there. Richard Stein is in that chair somewhere. There he, and hi, Richard Stein. Wave at everybody. There you go. And down below, we have Ron Coleman. Say hi, Ron.
Hi. How are you?
How do you two know each other?
Oh, we go way back.
You go way back.
Yeah, I met him back, I think late 80s, I think.
Oh, my. What was it like late 80s? What was it like?
Orange County, California, the late 80s.
Hey, Richard, maybe turn down that volume of that microphone. It's making louder feedback. Just a little, please.
How's that?
Yeah, that's great. So what was it like when the two of you met?
Oh, it was magic. We met, when I first started doing stand-up, I met him like the second night I ever did stand-up at some place in Fullerton, and then we became friends with Kelly Moran and a whole bunch of work. We had a whole little group.
And you traveled around and did comedy together, the troupe?
Oh yeah, we traveled everywhere. It was Kelly Moran, Rich, Sam Coots, Jeff Capri. We all met around the same time.
Wow. Now what made you two stay friends all this time since the late 80s?
I have no idea. we just known each other, and everything worked, so we just stayed friends forever.
Sure. So, Richard, you're over there in Huntington Beach, California.
Yeah. Huntington Beach, yeah.
So, how...
Just about, Ron is like the nicest guy in the world, man. He's like the salt of the earth guy.
He's been singing your praises.
Ron's got, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
There's just, that's what my daughter does these Zooms every day for school. There's a natural delay. That's my wife. After you speak, you got to wait for the words to travel.
Oh.
Ron's like my greatest confidant in comedy. He's the one that always inspired me and told me to go for it when I work the crowd and ad-lib, that kind of stuff.
You're the best at that.
You can ad-lib and do crowd work at the same time, Richard?
Not at the same time. First I ad-lib and then I do crowd work.
He does it well. He does it very well.
So then what's your strength, Ron?
I just talked about my life, how pathetic it is. It's been working forever.
I started doing self-deprecating comedy and nobody wanted me to be self-deprecating in Portland, Oregon, but in Vegas they're like, sure, go ahead.
Oh, I've been doing it my whole career.
Yeah. It's my favorite style. I love sarcasm and self-deprecation.
Well, that's me.
That's why I liked you right off the bat, because of that style of comedy.
Oh, thank you very much.
Other than your magical good looks.
I shaved for that.
Hey, you two ought to get a rule.
There's no rooms to be had. There's no hookers to be had.
Yeah, thank God. Once the casinos open up, they'll be back.
Yeah.
How are you liking Vegas, Linda?
I love Vegas. I came here for a visit. and I didn't ever want to leave again. I went back and gathered my stuff and turned in my notice and moved here.
That was in the winter, though. I remember when I met you. You haven't been here through the summer yet.
I lived here like 20 years ago. I lived in North Las Vegas in a trailer park in the summer.
Doesn't everybody?
So, what do you find that is the COVID-19 and all that isn't funny? But what are you finding funny that people are doing?
Some people cutting their own hair. That's not going well. I've seen pictures. It doesn't go well.
What about you, Richard? What's the funniest thing you've seen people do?
Well, there's too many things to think of.
They started TikTok because of this virus.
I just let my.
What's that?
I don't usually have a beard. I just grew mine and kind of just for the COVID-19, for the pandemic, for the quarantining. I said I wasn't going to shave it until we were back to square one.
That's nice. I thought that
I usually have a beard.
Really? I find that hard to believe.
Ron's looking pretty groomed. Where'd you get your haircut, Ron?
Some guy behind a dumpster. I know people.
Do you miss going to Jokesters where I met you, Ron?
Yes, I do. I did the last week at the new place.
Oh, what was that like?
The last week was pretty decent. It was filtering off, but people still came out. We had great shows all week. That's a great club now. Just opened up like a month before we shut down.
Where's it at?
At the old Hooters at OYO.
Yes.
Yeah, it's right behind the Tropicana. It's a great room. It's really good.
So you're upstairs. You're not downstairs where John Hilder.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a different room. They're both good rooms. That's a great place.
Yeah, I love that John Hilder show. I have to come and see Don Barnhart's show, Jokesters.
That's great. I did the first week and the last week.
There are so many comedians in Vegas with 20, 30, 40 years of comedy.
And there's more coming.
Yeah. After the cruise ships shut down.
Oh, yeah. Every year there's about 15 pretty good comics moving here every year from LA.
Yeah, pretty soon I'll have to be waiting tables and that won't be pretty at all.
Oh, you'll be fine. It's Vegas.
What do you, was this whole shutdown at your level, like at my level, forget about it. At your level, the shutdown has had to affect your pocketbooks. You want to talk about that?
I'm still doing okay. I'm doing all right now.
Are you sneaking jokes out to?
Money saved up.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. What about you, Richard?
Well, I've just finished my first book.
Yeah?
I'll put it in front of the camera there. Vegas Goes East. I went by Jackie Vegas for years. Vegas Goes East. It's about a trip I took across the country in a motorhome in '93 and all the wacky screwball comedy that ensued. And then I made it back to my high school reunion and performed there. So I'm hoping to. The book came out on sale right around the day after the quarantine was announced. So I said, this is either really bad timing or really good timing.
What does the book sell for?
Well, it's $12.95 for the paperback and $3.99 for the Kindle. So
Where do I buy it?
Amazon Kindle, Vegas Goes East.
I read it. It's a great book.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Where did you graduate from high school?
Ronnie or me?
You, Richard, did you say that you...
Roger Ludlow High School in Fairfield, Connecticut.
And
All
that's...
the high schools were named after patriots. They were all named after patriots, like early colonialists.
Ludlow was a colonial patriot, whatever.
In Fairfield he was. He was no Roger Sherman. Big deal.
Who?
The other high school was Nathan Hale High School.
Nathan Hale.
Anyway, I'm killing here.
I can't... You're doing fine. I'm taking it nice and slow because of that feedback we're getting. So
I'm killing here with this high school.
I'm going to go and I'm going to buy your book. I'm going to buy the book.
Buy the Kindle, then you can leave a review.
I don't have a Kindle. So it's called Vegas Goes East on Amazon.
Hey, Ronnie, remember I did those shows with Frazier at the Laugh Factory? There's my picture on Frazier Smith's radio show. That's the back of the book.
Wow.
And that's in '92 at the LA Laugh Factory.
I remember those days.
Wonderful. So you went across the country in a motorhome. How long did that take? And what are some funny stories from that, Richard?
What do we got, about 45 minutes left?
At least. We have a really big show tonight.
Well, I played a place called the Purple Peacock in Eunice, Louisiana.
Wow. How'd that go?
I killed.
Richie used to book a room in Orange County in San Marcos, California. Some dumpy. Didn't you have Jim Carrey there?
That's in the book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jim,
He hired Jim Carrey when he was an owner.
Oh my gosh.
Booker said, "Hey, I'll give you a couple grand if you bring in some big names." And I was smart. The first comic I ever had on my stage was this guy right here. He was, back in those days, he was the opening act, and then I had Tom McMillan as the close, because he does, even at that time, he was a feature, he was a headline act. But Ron was, that was in '89. So in '89, Ron was my first choice to open the show. I knew it was gold, baby. Gold!
Wow. That's something else. How many different shows did you do on your trip across the country that's in your book called, hold up, let me pull it up again. The book called Vegas Goes East.
I did about a dozen or more shows that were booked through Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas, and then I did a bunch of showcases. I went into Jokers in Oklahoma City, did a showcase. I did an extra show in Eunice for reals. I was such a hit that they invited me back to do their party at their house the next night. People who owned the bed and breakfast, and it was with their sister city from like Senegal, South Africa, and I'm thinking, man, these people in Eunice got it all hooked up. That made a funny story because they invited me to come up and perform for them at that little party. So that makes a nice little story in the book.
Yeah. How long did it take you to write that book?
Well, I wrote it free. I wrote it longhand every night I had to write, what happened that day. So it took the time that it took me to do the trip 3 months. It took about 3 months to go and do all this stuff and end up in my dad's house in Fairfield. And I like to think the book ends where my dad and I are parting ways, and I'm driving back to basically to Seattle, because I ended up out there with Kelly Moran, and I continued my trip there. But I originally was going to keep the whole thing as one book. It took me so long just to write, going from west to east. I said, the hell with it. That's that book. That's the one I'm leaving.
Did you take the trip just to write a book, or did you write a book to take a trip?
and I never thought of writing a book. But when I left, my friend Piggy Body, who's in the book, he's always been kind of my mentor. He just gave me like a spiral-bound ledger pad, and he said, "Write about your thing." So I had no intention to, but every day was like a different experience because I was driving. I tried to drive about 600 miles a day, and
Wow.
it kind of just was. It worked out organically.
That's the best way. What have you done lately, Ron, that you're proud of?
I'm learning how to cook on YouTube. I'm cooking all these recipes I found, and I'm working out every day. I have a little lake out behind my house, and I run around the lake, run up and down stairs. I've been keeping in shape.
That's great.
I cook on YouTube.
What's the favorite thing that you've cooked so far from YouTube?
3 different chicken recipes, and a bacon cheeseburger.
Wow.
A little bit. I found some guy named Sam, the cooking guy. He's been teaching me how to cook.
Oh my gosh. There's this lady in California. Do you know Maya DiGiorgio in California?
No.
She's a comedian. She teaches people to cook Italian on her Facebook Live.
No, I'll find her.
Yeah.
Italian's next on my list.
Yeah. And she's funny. The whole time she's got you laughing about the ingredients. It's hilarious.
I will look her up.
Yeah. So what do you guys want? Where do you want people on the interweb to follow you, to help you look like real social media gurus, especially with the beard, Richard. You look like you own the internet.
The best place for me is on my Riches Entertainment group, which is my Facebook business page for my book and my comedy. It's just all lowercase, all one, Riches Entertainment Group. It's 3 different words actually, but that's my Facebook page where I put all the pictures from my trip. I've posted for the last month pictures of different parts of the trip because I had too many pictures to put in the book. My publisher said, if you put those pictures in this book, the book's going to cost $300. So I just put them on, that way people can see the pictures for free, and they're, "Hey Ron, am I the biggest pack rat that you've ever known?"
Yes, you are. He has every article ever written about comedy. You should do like a museum.
Ooh, that would be a great idea. A comedy museum.
He posts them all the time on Facebook. They're great.
Wow. I'll have to go start looking and scouring all your pages and see what all you write.
Comics from way back.
Yeah. Like 40 years, and then you probably have stuff from even before then, right? Richard?
Oh, yeah.
I've got stuff from the 80s, when I was just starting. Anytime, see, when people put out a flyer or a brochure, a business card, a lot of times I guess they think people ain't going to pick them up. I never left one brochure or one business card or one flyer. Whatever they put out, I said, "Oh, these are for me. These are complimentary."
I barely say any of mine. I don't have hardly any of them.
You know, Ron, can I tell you real fast? Ron opened for, and Ron's got an amazing memory. He either opened for Tom Jones or Engelbert Humperdinck.
No.
And Ron's picture was bigger than whoever the star actor was.
I didn't open for him. We were on the marquee. I was on the marquee with Tom Jones.
What?
Tom Jones.
Ron Coleman's headshot was a full page. His headshot was full page. Or Engelbert Humperdinck.
It was Tom Jones, yeah.
What was that like, Ron?
No, I was just, we were in valleys together. My picture turned out bigger than his. He was in the main room, and I was a Catch Rising Star. Walco and Leah Fritzky. That was great. I love ballads. Catch Rising. That was the first road gig I ever did. Was Catch Rising Star here in Vegas. I can't find a picture. I have a picture with Tom Jones, me, Tim Walco up on the billboard. But I can't find it. I don't know why I did. I'm not a pack rat like that.
I think it's in section 3B in my garage filing cabinet. Here's the thing about Ron too. When we were all kind of struggling to get it together, and I never did the same act twice. That's why I never went anywhere. I always just like doing this stuff every time. But Ron was quietly just compiling this act together, and all of a sudden we look in Vegas, he's opening for these big name acts, and we're going, man, he was like, he had it together. He wasn't just messing around. He was really doing it.
I hated open mics. So I figured as soon as I got 10 minutes of material, I was gone. And I just worked it out from there. I hated open mics.
Yeah.
List off some of the people that you've opened for, Ron.
Just mostly just road comedy stuff. I started within 1 year. I was playing the best clubs in the country.
Wow.
I went all over Seattle, Portland, Texas. Yeah,
I was playing the Purple Peak.
Spellbinders in Houston. That was great.
Which club did you like the best that is no longer open?
None of them are open. Last Limited I did early on. That's still open. Laughs in Tucson is still open. Spellbinders was great. I did Laughs in Portland, Seattle, Phoenix, and the 2 San Jose's, but they're all gone now.
Wow. Who's the favorite person you...
Zone.
Comedy Zone? Where's that at?
Yeah. That was in Charlotte, North Carolina. That was the main club.
Who's the favorite comic that you guys have met and talked to and worked with overall, and for what reason?
I used to work at Igby's. Yeah, I used to work at Igby's in West LA, and like every night there'd be 15 major comics on there every night. I worked once with Rosie O'Donnell, and she brought Madonna to the show. And I didn't know it was Madonna. There's a Madonna wannabe, but it was actually Madonna. She actually told me she liked that was at Igby's in West LA.
And she liked your comedy, she told you?
Yeah, Madonna said that. She's very short. She's a lot shorter than I thought. I didn't think it was her.
You know, she's a very smart person.
Oh yeah, she's a genius. She's good at marketing and she's good. She'll be back.
Yep. She won't quit. Her and Cher forever.
Oh no, she'll be
So what?
down there. She'll be there at 80 years old. She'll be doing her comeback tour. She'll be on her 4th comeback tour by then. She's 80.
The young people don't know about her and Dogs on Stage.
No, I don't even know about I don't know about the Dogs.
1989.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I remember Dirt.
I met her in early 90s. When Igby's, whenever Igby's was around. Whenever in early 90s.
Yeah. Remember her Kabbalah stage when she was wearing bracelets and acting out there?
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. All the things millennials don't know.
Yeah.
What about you, Richard? Who's your favorite, besides Ron Coleman being salt of the earth and you love him, who's a mainstay in comedy or has passed that you are so glad you got to know, and why?
Probably Gary Shandling, I'd say, for his body of work, and I did not to piggyback on Ron's Igby's thing, but that's probably the one club that I did get passed on, as they used to call it. In other words, they passed you, and I worked there. And he came in one time to practice he was going to host the Grammy Awards. And so I got to bring him up. So I said, "You want me to bring you up hard or easy?" He just wanted to come do his joke. So that was an honor to be able to. I just happened to be there. I used to say, "Hey, now I can say I opened for Shandling," but I really didn't. I was just hosting that night. He popped in. So yeah, like Ron said, you would just see every great time. I mean, I went by there one night. I didn't have a spot, but I remember Bill Hicks was on stage, and I talked to Bill Engvall out on the patio there, and was the nicest guy in the world. No, he wasn't. No pretension. Just a really, because at that time he was nationally known, and it was just cool because he was. Yeah, Hicks is in there doing his thing.
So is Bill What, Ron?
Every single night, it was just a who's who. It was Paul Reiser and Jeff Foxworthy, Janine Garofalo. Pretty much every comic that was working stopped through there at some point. So I worked with pretty much everybody there.
Wow. What's the thing that drives you nuts about younger comics, newer in the business?
A lot of them are trying to copy. They try to copy other comics. They try to be Eddie Murphy, and they try to be somebody else. You gotta be yourself. You can still admire them. You gotta do what you do. You can't just become Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor.
Exactly.
They all try to copy them now.
Yeah. It takes.
That doesn't always work.
What about you, Richard? What drives you nuts about young comics other than when they start going on Zoom during an apocalypse?
How much time do we have for this?
8 days.
Well, I'm not one to browbeat the millennials, but if I were to say one thing, it's when I'm at shows, a lot of time it just seems like they're doing self-analysis from the stage. They're not really making me laugh. They're saying how, well, I'm on Tinder, I'm on Grindr, I'm on Bubbler, I'm on, and this is what I am about, and then my parents. Maybe I'm just the old geezer.
No.
Mad because they won't give me stage time. But, I digress.
I've noticed that sometimes they lock onto a premise and then they go from a premise to another premise to another premise with like zero punchlines.
And they try to entertain their friends in the back of the room. They're just trying to, and then they go on stage, and then 10 minutes later, they're all out smoking pot while the rest of the people are on stage.
Yep. I hate that.
Yeah, they start off with 25 comics in the room. At the end, there's 2 on stage and nobody in the audience while they're outside somebody in the audience.
Exactly.
That's true.
If money, this is for both of you. You can answer in any order because we got time. So if money wasn't an issue and you could heal the world of something that drives you mashugana, what would it be that you would heal the world of? You can be funny or you can be straight. You can be a straight man for a change. Anybody want to be a straight man?
Homeless people. There's no way anybody should be homeless. We got money. We got food. Put them in. That should be, especially vets. If you're a homeless vet, that's disgusting.
Thank you. That is disgusting. I agree.
Oh, yeah, you are a vet.
Yeah.
I forgot. I just realized as I said that. Yeah, there's homeless vets. They're in the tunnels underneath Vegas. Have you ever been in those tunnels?
No.
Oh, you should go there.
And do comedy?
They take comics down there on Tuesday nights, and you go underneath the tunnels. They go underneath from the Rio, underneath the freeway, all the way to underneath Caesar's Palace, and homeless vets live down there. And and they take them food and clothing and stuff like that. You should go down there sometime.
Who do I hook up with to do that?
Dr. Love.
Is that Ray?
Carla.
Ray Love?
Yeah, Justin Brown's been down there a few times. They're great guys. They just
Who's Dr. Love?
This guy Arthur. Arthur's his real name. He lives downtown. And his girlfriend.
Okay. I'll
I'll give you their information.
Thank
They
you.
take food down there. They take clothes. And they just, they try to help out as much as they can, but there's not much they can do.
I want to do that. What about you, Richard? What would you heal?
What was the question?
What if you had enough money to heal a really big problem besides the pandemic? What would you heal in the world?
Well, that's a great question. I don't mean to piggyback on Ron's answer, but I have to say because I'm not in Vegas like he is. I only go once or twice a year, but because it is such a horrible dilemma, I'd have to say the same thing. Because Los Angeles, when you drive through Los Angeles on the freeways, where all the ice plant is, where all the water, the sound walls, there's blue tarps and tents in it. It really is. It's a bad, not to be all preachy, but it's kind of a bad testimonial on the climate and the culture of the whole earth, and that something like that is happening. And I think this, in a lot of ways, this pandemic it does what happens when there's a horrible flood like was down in New Orleans. All of a sudden, people that never talk, they're out passing sandbags to each other. Like, I ride my bike around my town every day, and I noticed that on a small scale, people are more friendly one-on-one. They're much more friendlier. They're saying hello. They're waving because everybody's kind of out of their house. They're looking around their bubble like, okay, is the world still around? But then on the other scale, people who drive, those people who are driving, they seem to be more aggressive on the road because they're stressed out and stuff.
Yes.
I would say the homeless thing is such a big problem that I would mirror what Ron said, that all around the world, that's what I would help, the people not eating right and not getting proper medicine.
I know here in Vegas, they used to take the buffet food at night and feed it to the pigs in North Las Vegas. It was a pig farm out there, and they used to just dump the food there because they're saying you can't give it to the homeless because it's been tainted. Which I'm sure they'll eat it. They'll be fine. But because of that, they're starting to change it a little bit. But they were just taking it out to a pig farm and dumping all that good food for the pigs to eat.
Wow.
I think they're starting to change it a little bit, but they're saying because it's been exposed to air or whatever, you can't feed it to anybody.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah, they're eating out of dumpsters, but they can't give them food.
So, are either of you accepting Cash App or PayPal or any of that to help out from people that love you? Or would you rather not? What's your take on some people?
Personally, I'm fine. I have money. I'm sure there's a lot of comics out there struggling, so I'd rather have them have the money right now. I'm doing fine.
Perfect.
I'm rich.
Richard, are you having any trouble feeding your teenage daughter who fixes the computers?
I'm actually fine. I chickened out of being a lifelong comedian and took a short little 25-year day job as a school teacher. So,
What? Tell me about that. Where did you? With a beard?
That's a whole nother 10 minutes. that on my MySpace, Richard's Entertainment. Yeah, I wasn't quite. I didn't have the stomach or the head to do it for my whole life, so I did till I was 39, and then 2014 I made my big comeback.
And you had a lot of material from the kids.
My kids were all at-risk kids. They were all on house arrest. So
Wow.
they came in every morning. They put their ankle on the couch so they could plug in their ankle bracelet. Because if that thing got discharged, they would get violated by their PO. So the most important thing for my kids was recharging their ankle bracelet.
Electricity. Electricity is big. Electricity is big.
Ron, where do you want people to follow you on the World Wide Web?
Oh, I got a few things up on YouTube, and that's about it.
What's your... What?
Ron Coleman comedian on YouTube. I got some of my got a few clips on there.
Awesome. So Ron Coleman comedian on YouTube, and Rich's comedy. Nope, Rich's RICHS Entertainment at Gmail. No. Rich's Entertainment Group.com.
On Facebook.
On Facebook.
I'll put the link. I'll message you the link.
Thank you.
That's where I do all my book and comedy talk. My family page. I have the Facebook family page, but I don't like doing a lot of comedy business on that because then a lot of the relatives come and go, "Hey, since when are you funny?" Who needs that?
And then you've got the book on Amazon Prime or Kindle. It's called Vegas Goes East, about your trip to Connecticut, all the way across the country doing comedy to see his dad.
It's a very good book. I highly recommend it.
Does your dad know you're funny?
Well, it's best if you read at the end of the book. We go through the whole thing. My dad was like Archie Bunker. He was just a slow burn. Nobody had the slow burn like my dad.
I got to read this book. I'll be going to buy it today.
The last couple of chapters are me and him driving to New Hampshire to visit my brother, who at the time was living in a cabin there, and he worked at a junior college. But my dad was complete opposite of me. He did everything, got up every day at the same time, had lunch at the same time, had dinner. I've never eaten a meal at the same time in my life. He came out to visit me once in California. I go, "Do you want to have dinner now?" He goes, "It's 4 o'clock. We're not going to have dinner. We're having dinner at 6 o'clock. So he had he was funny, and he didn't try to be. He was funny, and he wasn't waiting for the laugh. It was just the slow burn.
Wow. Well, I'm going to get the book today, so you can look forward to one sale from me.
Woo!
Thank you, Ron Coleman and Richard Stein. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. You have to come back because this is my first threesome, so I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. It was great talking to you.
Likewise, Ron. Bye, Richard. Bye.
See you. As soon as this is over, I'll see you at Joseph's.
Yes. Yes, you will.
Both of you.
Yes. Bye. Love you both.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thanks, Linda.
Yes, Richard.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Richard. Bye, Ron. Love ya. They were so fun. I got to talk all day with them. They're so fun. Thanks for watching, you guys. That's what you get when you put two guys with about 7. Oops.